That's so strict.
We also receive like questions, if you will be an animal, what kind of animal would you be?
準備ですね。やっぱり preparation is key, right? Yeah. はい、では今日はなんとですね、Bizmatesのトレーナーとインタビューがあるんですけども、彼女はもう超有名な外資系製薬会社で勤めてた方です。そして彼女にですね、採用プロセスとかグローバル企業で働いてどんな感じだったっていうのを聞いていきたいと思うんですけども、やっぱりこれからグローバルの環境でお仕事されたい方、外資系で働きたいと思っている方は、ぜひ最後まで見てみてください。Alright, so Net, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much, Sir Hika. It's my pleasure, sir.
All right. So we're going to ask you just a few questions about your work experience and the job market in the Philippines. But I want to start off with my first question. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, including your work history?
Yeah, so I graduated from the University of Santo Tomas with a degree of Bachelor of Science in Tourism.
Yes.
As for my first job, I work in a shipping company. Then, since I'm the type of person who likes taking on challenges, I moved to a pharmaceutical company and some automotive companies too. Yes, and later on, I also joined some call center and bank.
Wow. すごいね。エリートですね。今サンタトマースという大学行ってたんですけど、フィリピンでもトップ大学ですね。もうトップ3ぐらいに入る大学なんですけども、You said tourism?
Tourism,
Right.
yes, sir.
観光なんですね。観光で、そしてシッピング会社に入って、そしてファーマスユティカルカンパニー、製薬会社。A global pharmaceutical company, right?
Yes, that's right.
Right.
Mika.
You told me the name earlier. It's like a really big global pharmaceutical company. So I was just telling everyone you kind of went down that elite path, of graduating from one of the top universities and then getting into a very big global company. Wow. Yes. In Japan, we have this culture of fresh grad recruitment where during a particular season, like these university students, they will apply to different companies, all wearing the same black suit and white shirt. It's kind of the Japanese fresh grad recruitment process. Do you have something similar like that in the Philippines?
Yeah, a little similar, sir. So there's like a certain period of time that we will have a job fair. So it's being done in some trade halls and convention center.
Yeah.
And those who would like to look for a job, fresh grads would submit their resumes and their transcript of records and diplomas to these different companies.
なるほど。フィリピンではね、ジョブフェアという制度があってですね、学生さんが、展示会みたいな感じですよね。展示会にいていろんな企業さんがそこでリクルートメントしてるんですよね。そして自分のレゼメですね、履歴書をそこで出して面接とかをセッティングすると。なるほど。Okay, so just moving on to my next question. ちょっとそのグローバルの、製薬会社で働いてたっていう話してたので、I want to ask you about the global pharmaceutical company that you worked for. I'm not going to say the name. I know it's a huge company. It's a big pharmaceutical company. But can you tell me about why did you join this company?
Yeah, so back then I had lots of relatives who were working as a medical representative. And I was seeing the benefits that they were experiencing. So some perks of working for a pharmaceutical company or global pharmaceutical company is that you will have your company car, you will have your company phone. So I got enticed with it. Not to mention the fact, of course, that it's a well-renowned company.
Yeah.
So it's a very stable and prestigious company. So I decided to apply.
Really? ちょっとすごい情報なんですけど、なぜこのグローバルの製薬会社に入ったかっていうと、車をこの会社だとカンパニーカーって言って車を貸してくれるから、電話も貸してくれるからいろんなメリットがあるっていうことで、応募したらしいんですね。家族の方が結構製薬会社で働いていて、お金があるんでしょうね。すごいね。車をくれると。So you had your own company car at this company?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Wow. いやー豪華ですね。違いますね。海外は。That's unbelievable. Well, can you tell me about the recruitment process? It must have been really difficult to join this company.
Yeah, so first resume screening, and then you will have like a battery of tests, 3 or 4 tests, and later you will have a series of interview.
Yeah.
And so the interviews are with the different levels of managers, one-on-one interview, and later you will have like a panel interview. After that, we'll have a work simulation. So
I'm sorry, work simulation before you join the company?
yeah, before
Wow.
we join the company. So as a medical representative, we have to have a good selling skills. So
Yeah.
that time I was like requested to sell a pen.
A pen, a role play. Yeah.
So we had a role play, and I was like the medical representative, and the manager is acting out as a doctor.
Wow. That's unbelievable. 厳しいですね。いや、テスト、もちろんテクニカルテストっていうのもあったんですけど、3つか4つぐらい受けたと。そして面接も、1対1の面接が3回ありまして、そしてパネル、何人かわからないですけど、4、5人でしょうね、のインタビューも受けましたし、プラス採用される前にワークショップ的な、ロールプレイをやらされたんですね。営業なので、ペンを売ってみるっていう感じのロールプレイもやったと。いやー、厳しい。So strict.But it's impressive that you passed and you were able to get in.
Thankfully.
Were there any like curveball questions, like tricky questions that they asked you?
Yeah, so aside from that, sell me this pen is a little curveball question, right? So we also receive like questions, if you will be an animal, what kind of animal would you be?
Really?
Yeah, so I remembered I answered bird.
Bird.
Yeah, because I'm free-spirited like a bird, and I want to soar high and go to different places. So to explore the world, yeah, something like that. And I relate that to how I want my career to be in the future.
Wow. なんかこういうトリッキーな、英語で curveball questions って呼んでるんですけど、カーブですね、カーブボールですね。ちょっと変わった質問ないですかって聞いたんですけども、What was the question? If you could be any animal, what animal you would be?
Yeah, that's right.
Right. 動物になれたらどの動物を選ぶかっていう質問ですね。そしてネットさんは鳥になると、バードだと。ね、飛べるし、世界ね、回れるし。Great answer. I think my answer would be そうだね、turtle かな。亀かな。長生きする。You live a long time and you live a nice slow life. I think I would pick turtle. And I love the ocean, so yeah. I probably could not get in. Yeah, but anyway. Okay. Okay. Any other questions they ask you? Curveball questions, tricky questions?
Yeah, so there are many situational questions aside from curveball questions. So, like for example, they would ask you, so tell me a situation that you have go above and beyond the role, or tell me a situation that you handled a difficult colleague or difficult manager. These questions, they will be like asking your capability on how to think quickly, and they would also know whether you're a positive person or
Right. Those are difficult questions. Yeah, なるほど。いや、やっぱりレベル高いですね、面接の。質問も situational questions という英語で言うんですけども、やっぱりこういう状況だったらあなたはどういう対応しますかっていう質問ですね。例えば同僚とうまくいってなかったらあなただったらどうしますかとか、こういう時で困ってる時はどういう提案しますかとか、結構具体的に、英語で situational questions 言うんですけど、面接でもレベル高い質問ですね。こういうのがやっぱり多かったっていうことですね。いやー、okay, very good. And what language did you use in these interviews? Was it in Tagalog or English or? Yeah.
All done in Tagalog, sir. In English, sir, Higa, sorry. So all the recruitment process, sorry.
Yeah. All in English.
All in English, yeah. All in English.
But to work in the Philippines, you need to be able to speak and read and write Tagalog as well, don't you?
Yes, but all the recruitment process, even though it's not a major pharmaceutical company, is being done in English.
Oh, really? So even the local companies?
Even the local companies, because that is like our second mode of communication in the Philippines.
Right. Okay. いやー、そうですね。そうね、フィリピンでも、 タガログと英語っていう言語が、あるんですけど、タガログはそのローカルの言語で皆さんもちろんタガログは話せるんですけど、英語は多くの方は話せますけども、ネイティブではないんですけど、面接とかこのワークショップとか全て英語でやられていると。グローバル企業だけじゃなくてローカルの企業も英語で面接やっていると。すごいですね。ビズメイツももちろんそうなんですけど、英語で面接やりますけども、そうなんですね。そのローカルの言語を使わないと。I see. Okay, that's really interesting. And also, so after the interview, how did you get the results? How did they notify you? Is it a telephone call? Is it an email?
Yeah.
And how long did you have to wait? What's that whole process?
Yeah, so I received a call after a week or two. And then you will be for a training, a classroom training. So this is still part of the elimination process. A 1-month classroom training, since I am not a science-related graduate, it was a little difficult for me. But what was helpful was I have developed some friends back then. So we had a group study. And they will teach me and share experiences from their previous companies in the pharma industry too.
So even after they've passed the interviews and the tests, during that 1 month onboarding sort of training, people are cut?
That's right. So,
Wow.
You can still get to be eliminated.
I see, I see. そうなんでいろんなテスト、面接とか受けて、それを受かった後も、また1ヶ月間ぐらいの、グループの、レッスンみたいな、ワークショップみたいなのをずっと1ヶ月間受けていくんですけど、その中でついていけない人たちは切られていくと。そして最終的に残る人たちが、社員になると。いやー、厳しい。Wow, okay, it's very, very strict. And okay, and when did you start working? Like after
a week or two after the classroom training.
Oh, I see, I see. Okay, okay. Well, I'm just surprised that the whole process was so strict and you managed to get through that. That's absolutely fantastic.
Definitely.
Yeah. And how long did you work at that global company?
I worked for less than a year.
Oh, I see, I see. Was it pretty tough? It was pretty tough?
It was a little tough, but there were some difficulties I experienced working from the province because I was working in the province and it's far from my family.
So you had to commute?
I was staying in an apartment for 5 days.
Right. So you had to move away from your family.
Yes.
Right,
I requested to be relocated because I'm still a little new. So there were many people in the line for relocation.
Right. I see. 今話しているのはこれフィリピンの独特の課題なんですけども、やっぱり多くの方たちは田舎から都会に行かないと仕事がなくて、そして結局家族をみんな田舎に置いてって引っ越して都心に暮らしながら働くんですけども、やっぱりそれってすごく辛いんですよね。それで多くの方たちは長くそれを続けられなくて辞めて、弊社もですね自宅から教えられる仕事なんですけど、やっぱりそういうビズメイツでもそういうすごいエリートの人がやっぱり講師になって入ってくるっていう流れがあるんですね。はい。ネットさんもそういう感じの経験者だったということで。I see. Thank you very much. Okay, so final question net. To other people aspiring to work for a global pharmaceutical company like you did, can you give them some message?
Okay, yeah. So firstly, it's very important to be prepared. Like what Benjamin Franklin said, by failing to prepare, we are preparing to fail. So prepare for everything, not just for the answers to the interview, but also for the examination, because joining a major global company is really a tight race.
Right.
So prepare to look at our best. We have to, when we look good, we will feel good and we will be more confident about ourselves. Then we sell ourselves. So make the interviewer feel that hiring you would be a good addition to their team. We create our sales speech like a 1 or 2 liner. We make a good impression. Like what we are teaching at Bizmates, the first 10 seconds, we make a good impression of that, right? So the 10-second rule. And then give our best because this is the chance that we have been waiting for our dream company. And we don't want to regret that, right? So, yeah. And when there are some questions that were asked to us that we haven't prepared for, I think less talk, less mistakes. So we don't elaborate so much and just give a good lasting impression.
Right. Well, thank you. That's great advice. いや、素晴らしいアドバイスですね。やっぱり最初に言ってたのが、いっぱいアドバイスがあったんですけど、準備ですね。やっぱり preparation is key, right? いや、アドリブはね、通用しないので、やっぱり努力ですよね。努力して準備して、どんだけ前もって準備するかによって、やっぱり結果は変わってきますと。いろいろあったんですけど、you had a lot of advice, like trying to remember everything, but you also mentioned like the 10-second rule. もう、10 second rule っていうのは、もう最初の10秒で、いろいろ決めつけられちゃうので、やっぱりもう最初の10秒はもう完璧にできるようにしましょうと。そして自分を売るっていうこと。You said sell yourself, right?
Right.
Which is something that's really difficult for Japanese to do because they're very shy and they're modest. But to stand out of thousands of applicants, you need to sell yourself, right? So I think that's a really important message. And like you said, if they ask you a question you're not prepared for, don't talk too much. The more you speak, what did you say? The more you
Less talk, less mistakes.
Less talk, less mistakes. Yeah, the more you talk, more mistakes. So, やっぱり準備できてないものについてごまかしでいろいろ話すと間違いがだんだん出てきちゃうから、そうじゃなくて知らなかったら知らないってちゃんと言って大丈夫ですと。はい。Okay, well, thank you. Thank you so much for your time. We've learned so much. And I hope we have a chance to see you again, Net. Thank you. All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay, goodbye, Net. Thank you.
Bye for now, sir. Thank you.
それではお知らせです。Bizmates の公式 LINE ではビジネス英語を勉強したい人に向けたコンテンツを配信しています。登録したらすぐに特典をゲットできます。限定の無料講座もやっていく予定です。もっと英語力を高めたい方はぜひ下の概要欄から登録をお願いします。チャンネル登録、高評価、コメントをぜひお願いします。次の動画でお会いしましょう。See you next time!